Are you happy, David?
I just said got it, so I'm good.
All right, so as I said, my name is Elton Brown, and I'm going to be the facilitator. And this is going to be a basic overview of Facebook. And the reason that we're doing this is so that we can use this during our open house month in April, allowing us to reach further individuals in our communities. How many have a Facebook account, by the way? Show of hands? Okay. And what do you do with it?
Well, I post, I give updates on what's happening with me, and I generally look to see what's happening with friends, family, find out what's going on.
Okay, and are there any, and is this about where you want to be with your Facebook account, or is there something else that you want to be able to do with it?
Well, I'd like to be able to know more about things like if it's marketplace or Facebook market, whatever it's called, things, or just to get information out there of, oh, so let me back up also. So I do also post to the District 60 Facebook page and all the division pages within District 60 of upcoming events sometimes, or just things like promoting membership or promoting dues renewals. So I do that as well. But, you know, there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of value to social media and Facebook. I just want to find out more how to really take advantage of it.
So one of the first things that, oh, wait a minute. I think everyone rose their hand when they said that they have a Facebook account, correct? Is that right? Okay, so everybody has one. All right, so well, we're not going to go through then the creation of a Facebook account, because that's relatively easy, I think, and that information is very accessible. So where I want us to start with this is, let's say your club has a Facebook page. Is that true? Does your club have a Facebook page?
No.
My club has a Facebook account, but nobody has been on it for a long time. And I like to do something in that because I'm a public relations officer.
Yes.
But I don't know how to do it.
Okay. But you have your own account.
I have my own account, which somebody opened for me a long time ago. And all I do is look at what's going on within my friend circle and recipes and that sort of thing. But other than that, I don't do much. I don't post anything because
basically whatever you do on your Facebook page, you can do on like the District 60 page. And if you can't, it's just a matter of gaining permission in order to do that. Does that make sense?
Where do we get the permission from?
The permission would come from the admin, the person who runs the District 60 Facebook page, and that would be me. So you would, yeah, so you would go to the District 60 website, you would then go ahead and try to put your information, do a post, and through that post, it will alert me that you want to join the District 60 account, and I would click yes, and away you would go. You would be able to post information about your club's activities,
yeah,
on that page. And in this way, everyone within the district would have an opportunity to see what your club is doing.
Is there a charge for that, or is it free, or how does it work?
$200.
$200?
No, I'm only joking. There's no money. There's no money. Just like you didn't have to pay for your account, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, and that would be true for any other Facebook account. Now, there's another type of Facebook page, and it's called Facebook. It's for marketing. And within that page, you are allowed to pay money in order to boost the announcements awareness. And that's done by on a per click basis. But that's not what we're going to talk about. But I did want to mention the fact that there is that difference between a regular Facebook account and a business account. And District 60 has both. But the one that we're talking about tonight is the business. So you're going to see me go in and out of share mode, where I'm going to show you certain things about Facebook, and hopefully they will be will help a lot. No, we're not doing that. Okay, so now this is what my Facebook account looks like. Now, basically, I would say 80% of this is customizable, depending on what it is that you want to do and see. For me, as my account is more or less basic. I just want to get on and get off. So it's broken into 3 parts. You have the middle part right here, where you see my head. And that middle part right here is where you get most of your information is coming or going, depending on what it is that you want to do. On this side, where the F that stands for Facebook is, allows you to do certain things on to interact with individuals, groups within Facebook. The other side, where you see, move the American over, where you see free training, chicken soup, that side of it is where you get to do things to set up. So for an example, if you go to the far right and you see where I'm hovering over that button over the right, this is where it actually talks about the options that you can do. So for settings and privacy, this is where one of the places that you as a user would have an opportunity to manipulate. So settings and privacy checkup are basically the same. Only one is prettier than the other. And this one is much better because it's already broken everything up into groups, which makes it a lot easier to figure out what it is that you want to do and or digest. So you have what you want to share, how you want to keep your account secure, how people can find you on Facebook, your data settings, and your ad preferences. And this is what allows you to determine how you want to interact with with people. and what you want them to see and not. So I'm just going to go right to the first one. And you see, it gives you 3 topics that you're going to work with under that square, and that's the profile information, post and stories, and then blocking. See how easy this makes it so much easier. So these things, I'm not going to scroll because this is my personal information. But if you notice, I have it set where my phone number is not, you can't see my phone number while I'm on Facebook. It's just not being shown. And that's because and if you see, I has here only me. So that means that only I can see that. And the same holds true with my email and my birthday. And then there are several other objects that are either on or either off, depending on my whim. Posting and stories. So here you're determining, all right, if I post a story, and I'll point back to where the stories are, only my friends can see my stories. I don't have them where they're just out there for the public to see. The same with posts, future posts. Oh, by the way, if you've already started posting and then you decide that you change your mind, you can't change what you've already put out there. It just doesn't work that way. So you can only change the ones that are in the future, like it says there, future posts. And I'll just click on that so you can see what that looks like. And so I can either go public, or I just want to post so my friends can see them, or I can make exceptions, or I can be specific. And then I can actually come back and make my own custom rule if I so desire. Okay, so now how to keep your account secure. Now this is a major one, and before we go into this, you want to make sure that your internet connection is relatively secure. So how do you do that? You make sure that you have something like a VAS on your computer that guards against people trying to slip in and drop nasty stuff, bugs and viruses on your computer. And then something called a VPN, which basically has you looking as if you're coming from another, for an example, another country, which throws off predators in terms of trying to get into your computer. All right, so if you notice, it summarizes. So it's saying that my password is okay. It asks for 2-factor authentication and to turn on log alerts. So this here is the learning part of it in terms of how to keep your password private. And one of them is picking a strong password to use, not something like downtown. That would not be a strong, could be a password, but that's not a strong password. So you need to come up with maybe adding things like making an alphanumeric password. So that way it makes it a little difficult for scammers to locate that. Safety tips. We already talked a little bit about that. And if you notice, you can't reset your password with the phone number. It won't allow you to do that. And with 2-factor authentication, it basically means, all right, I log in, and periodically, once I log in, it's going to come back and say, okay, we want to send a code through your phone or your email address to you to give back to us, to make sure that who is logging in is actually you. So I don't use that very much because I find that to be a pain in the rear. It's just too many times to log in. But if you are in a situation that you're not comfortable leaving your Facebook account open, that may be tapped by someone you don't know, then it's two-factor authentication is for you. And then turning on alerts. And this is where if Facebook thinks that someone is trying to log into your account and it's not, they don't think it's you, then it's going to send you an alert telling you that, hey, I think somebody's trying to log into your account. So we're going to ask you to change your password to something else. And then once you finish setting these things, it comes back and gives you a summary of what you've done. So in my case, as I started, it was my password is okay as far as me choosing one. I don't have my two-factor authentication on, and I don't have the logins alerts turned on as well. And so this goes on for all of the parts that you want to set up, including things like how do you want people to find you or not. Maybe you don't want anybody to find you. And then your data settings is it's interesting because this is where you have apps and websites. And within the apps and websites, this is where you have applications that kind of work hand in hand with Facebook. Have you ever been in a situation where you go to a website and it asks you, oh, well, do you want to log in with your Facebook account? It's probably one of the chances is that a app has been placed in this list that allows you to do just that, where you can actually log in using the credentials of your Facebook account. Okay, enough of that. So that takes care of this side in terms of setting your computer, your Facebook account up. Now on this side is a little more fun because you get to see things like who are your friends or people that want to be your friend. So if you just click on friends, you see where it has all of these individuals that either wants to be your friend, and you can notice that by where it says confirm. And I think most of these are that way. Or if you don't want that person to be a friend of yours, right underneath it, well, in this case, it says delete underneath basically all of these, or remove, which means that this person is a friend, and I've decided that I don't want her to be my friend. And by the way, if you remove somebody, the person that you remove, they don't know that they've been removed, so it's not as painful as it may sound. Okay, and the same would go with suggestions. I don't think I have any. These are, suggestions are all of the people that that Facebook thinks that I may want to be friends with. because Facebook and behind the scenes is, let's say, I'm going to say, drawing the lines between individuals that you know. So it creates almost like a web of a network of individuals. And so it presents that back to you, and for you to determine whether or not you wish to add them as a friend or not. And the not would be by just removing them. There's birthdays that you can that you can have pop up, or doesn't necessarily have to be birthdays. It could be birthdays, anniversaries, any type of commemorative event that will be placed in this area for you to see and respond. You can also set up custom links to various sites within Facebook. And this is about right where I think this is more than enough for in terms of dealing with the basic section or the basic portion of Facebook. Let me see if I can get back to. All right. Now, one other thing, and then I'm just going to open the floor for questions. And I did mention the fact that I want to talk about groups. And I think groups are a beautiful thing because it allows you to keep your Facebook page, which I'm going to call the front end, as is, but you can create subsets or groups that you can use in order to, let's say, have an open house, or there's another type of event without disturbing your Facebook, your initial Facebook page. And so if you notice right here, it has here groups. So if you click on groups, this is where you get to determine whether or not you want to make one. So you can actually join a group. You can, what is that? Or in this section, you can also add a group. And in terms of adding groups, this is great because as soon as you use them, you can delete them. You don't have to have them hanging around, which I think is the best part about using a group. So if you notice right here, it says here, create a new group. So I'm just going to click on this just to show you how easy it is. And basically right there is your new group. And you get the opportunity to do things like choose what the privacy is going to be, whether this is going to be a public group or is this going to be a private group. You get to give the group a name right here. So you can say, if that's the name of your group. And then there's a couple of things I think you need to do, and then you get to create it. And then all the things that we talked about earlier, you're able to apply to this group, or as I think of it, as just another page to my Facebook account. All right, so as I said, I was going to stop here and come back to, yes, I know. You don't care about that.
So maybe really quick question, Elton, for the folks on the call, for setting up groups for our various Toastmasters clubs, is it better to make the groups public or private groups, you think?
So they should be public, because you want to make sure that everyone can get to them. So this means that you can set up like a open house group or open house page, whichever way you want to call it. And then once that page has done its job, you can get rid of it.
Okay, so you can set up a group for your actual Toastmasters club. So whatever ABC club. And if you wanted to set up separate groups just for a particular event or something, if you really wanted to get that granular, that is an option as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's say your initial page. In this case, this is my page right here. Well, I don't want to mess my page up because of some special event. So I can just create a new group and then point everything about that event to that one page. And you have a link, everything, just like you would here. You normally have a link for your page. There you would have the same thing, and then you would just point everything to that one page.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is, was there any, if you are thinking about using live streaming, and live streaming is a way of having your meeting, and I'll say normal meeting, and I say that in quotes, but a normal meeting in Zoom, you can actually have it simultaneously be streamed to a Facebook page. And it could be either your Facebook initial page or it could be a group. It doesn't, it appears not to care if it's one or the other. And the catch to all of this is that if the page or the group has to belong to you. Now, the other catch I'll mention is the fact that if you have to vote on using live streaming, it has to be 100%. Everybody has to say yes. If you don't have 100%, then your club would not be able to use it for that occasion. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I think we should go and start asking questions. All right, so are you guys to start asking me questions?
Sorry, Elton, what was that last thing you said? You must have 100%. Is it the club you're talking about, or?
Yes. If let's say you are interested in using it, and so you want your club to use live stream, you have to present it to your club, and your club would have to vote whether or not you're going to use live streaming. If you have 100% of the people say it's yes, we want to use it, then full steam ahead. If you have 99% of the people said yes, but you have 1%, one person that says, nope, I don't want to do it, then you can't do it.
Sorry, Elton, could you just quickly explain what live stream is?
Yes, live streaming is where you have a meeting in Zoom, and you use Zoom for your meetings, correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So your meeting is being conducted. You can actually set it up so that not only are you in your meeting in Zoom, but you can stream it and over to I'm sorry, into Facebook, or I should say, let's just say I can, yeah, I can have it displayed in Facebook at the same time while I'm holding my Zoom meeting.
Everybody on the Facebook can see it. Is that the idea?
Yes, who's ever on Facebook, they can, of course, you have to give them the link to the Facebook page where your meeting is going to be displayed.
Oh,
But you, but if you're sitting over there, it is still interactive because you have the opportunity to ask questions, and there would be I'm going to call it a Facebook leader who would then make sure that the questions or comments that are made from individuals that are sitting at the Facebook page be heard at the meeting. Okay. I'm getting crickets. So why don't we do this? Why don't I show you how this, let me see if I can show you how this works. And maybe that would be a better thing. Oh, I could tell you what where to go first. So I'm going to give you, all right, in the chat, can you guys see that link?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. So now this is where I'm going to attempt to send what we're doing here to that page. You guys can't. You guys can't see what I'm doing because it's kind of like I'm looking. Okay, so are you guys at that Creatively Speaking Toastmasters site on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. So do you see there should be there should be an arrow in the middle of on that page, as if there's like a movie button, or the arrow that you see when you're in YouTube.
Yes, I've seen it live.
Okay, so now if you click on that button, so what I'm seeing, what you're seeing there on the Facebook page is basically what you're seeing here.
Yes.
The only difference
live.
is that there is a 20-second delay. So what you're seeing.
I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it. Where's the button?
Are you at the Creatively Speaking page? Creatively Speaking Toastmasters page?
I am.
Click on the link. There
I
you
did
are.
click the link and it took me to the page. But
Okay,
I'm not
could you-
seeing that.
Well, have you scrolled down a bit?
Maybe I didn't scroll down far enough. Okay. Oh, Elton Brown is live now. Okay, I see.
Mhm.
I thought it was at the top. Sorry.
That's okay. My bad. I was not clear. And see, this is what live streaming is. So basically, we're in a Zoom meeting, and then when you're over within that Facebook account, it's being simulcast from the from the Zoom account to the Facebook account. So what you've done here is that you've opened the door for not only your community to be reached, but now your club would be now sitting on an international level, able to gather individuals from other parts of the planet because you've opened that door using live streaming. So that's what live streaming is about. Does that make sense?
It's one direction though. Somebody looking at the Facebook page can watch and listen, but they can't interact.
Yes, they can interact because on the right hand side, just like, okay, when you click on a picture, and so on the left hand side you have the picture, and then on the right hand side there's allows you to place comments.
Right.
Right. Okay. Then you should have the same thing when you're using live streaming. It's not interactive in terms of I can talk, no, but you're able to feed information via that on that right-hand side to an individual who is at that meeting so that they can then forward your message to the Toastmaster, or if you happen to be participating in another part of the meeting, then that information would be there. This would more or less be used for guests. individuals so that they would have an idea of what goes on at your club. And this is one of the things that we're hoping a lot of the clubs, if they have the buy-in, that they will be able to use in order to, again, reach out internationally. Because at this point, there are no geographical boundaries. There's going to be a workshop that is going to be facilitated by Don Taylor, who's on the call right now. And he's going to take you guys from point A to point B. And when by the time the workshop has concluded, you will be able to handle this on your own. But since since Pushpa brought up what is live streaming, I thought it would be best if that, as that old saying, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Thank you, Walter. So when is Dawn going to do that workshop?
It's at the end of the month on January 27th. The link, I believe it's January 27th, right? The link will be on our various Toastmasters groups. And actually, I think it's on the Facebook page as well.
And we have to register to attend that, right? I guess.
Yes, like this one. You see the link. There you go.
You will see the link. Okay, thank you, Dawn.
This is very powerful. And this is one of the reasons why we are going through this Facebook exercise, is so that you guys can be prepared to set up a Facebook account if your club does not have one. And if necessary, set up a group page that can be used strictly for your open house month without disturbing your main Facebook area. So does anyone have?
Elton?
Yes.
That's really great, because I am so far behind all this Facebook technology. So it would be great to learn.
No, that's fine, Pushpa. And if you have any questions, you have my email address.
I think I have your email address.
Hold on. There you go. So I'm more than willing to help you with the Facebook side of things, and that goes for anyone else if they have any other questions.
Sure, I do, Elton. I have a question.
Yes.
For participating clubs with Facebook pages, right? Who would you recommend that they select or add as friends?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
For clubs with Facebook pages, do you have any suggestion who they could add or add as friends that they could use as networking tools? For example, say I am Western Mount Dennis and here's my club. Who would you recommend that I add to my Facebook page? Who would I want to seek out as friends? So I can also use them as part of my networking campaign on Facebook.
Okay, so you can use things, you can create things like hashtags that you can use to actually create your network.
Okay.
hashtags, as you know, hashtags are already being used across all social media platforms. And they in themselves set up a network. So for an example, public speaking, that has like 165,000 individuals that use that hashtag. And if you click on that hashtag, it will you'll see it'll bring up a number of if you happen to be in Facebook pages that are associated with that hashtag.
And right there, you would have a suggested friends that you could use, persons with similar
Yes.
similar likes. Okay.
Right. So if you said hashtag Toastmasters, then you would have way over 100,000 occurrences or of other Facebook pages that are of like mind.
Okay. Good.
If you go to hold on. I think this is a good thing to, I'm glad we're having this conversation right now. And this is an excellent site, I think, in order to determine hashtags and what they are, and generating hashtags. And the hashtags that are generated or on this site are, you can use them across the board. And you go through the list, and you see which ones that if you feel work for you. So if you type in, for an example, Toastmasters, then on the left, right hand side, you will see a list of all of the hashtags that in some way, shape, or form are associated with Toastmasters. So you'll see things like public speaking, table topics, the list goes on, and there are hundreds of variations. But that's the area. This is, as far as I'm concerned, this is the power of Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, Instagram. All of them use hashtags in order to boost their standings within Facebook or Twitter, whichever one you happen to be using. Because that's how a lot of people, that's how they find what it is they're looking for. It's not necessarily by doing searches, but they use the hashtag to do the searching. Or if you create your own hashtag, then you're able to set up your own personal network with all of these individuals that are also using that same hashtag. So hashtags are the key to, as far as I'm concerned, to all of this. Because if you have a Facebook page, especially, and you're trying to promote something, and you're not paying money to have that announcement boosted, then your only hope of getting a free boost or getting other people to recognize it, hopefully, is by using hashtags. And so with that page I just sent you, it has a way for you to find out what is trending. And once you know things like that, it helps you narrow down maybe what hashtag will work for you. But this is the best one that I've come across so far in terms of being able to find out the relatability of hashtags.
Thanks, Elton.
Elton, did you send the link
Yeah,
or did you send it to somebody only? There you go.
you happy now?
Yes.
So the question is, how does everyone feel about their Facebook page, and can they now manipulate it to their advantage? Oh yeah, Arthur,
Yes.
you were right. There is no simple Facebook page.
I mean, it can get very complicated, as you know, right? Back about 4 years ago, it was Facebook page and Facebook group. And back then the group is closed, not open. But now you're saying it should be open. And every
Yes.
Facebook group can have a Facebook page attached to the Facebook group. From
Yeah.
the splash page, they call it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is great, because once you're done with that group, you just get rid of it. And without, and that doesn't disturb your page, your front Facebook page, because it's a group, it's a subset of your main account.
No, it's good. It's good session for just the Facebook. Yeah, but then you start talking about Twitter and Instagram, and the latest we're exploring is Canva, right? If we can use Canva to coordinate publishing to every website out there, to show off the page to a greater audience. Yeah. So there's a few ways to do it. The old way is take a picture on Instagram, it goes straight into Facebook page, and it goes to Twitter, and recently a year ago it goes to LinkedIn, and I think they are adding something to TikTok if you guys are into TikTok. Yeah.
Well, TikTok is going to be the up and coming platform. That is going to be the platform, because the numbers that they're seeing from Facebook and all the other ones don't even come close to the numbers that they're in their interaction, the number of people that are interacting with TikTok versus the other ones. So TikTok will continue to eclipse the other ones, and I think that's going to be the new platform of choice.
Yeah, for Facebook page. Yeah, thanks, Elton.
Yeah, one other thing. When you're doing, as I had mentioned earlier, Facebook, you can have a business page, and if you have a Facebook for business, it allows you to do that. What Arthur was mentioning was the fact of having Instagram and Messenger in the background, and that all of it's linked together. So as you're passing information to Facebook, the boosted announcement, it's also being fed to Instagram, Messenger, and Facebook. So it's those three guys that are in cahoots. So this is one way of getting more of a bang for your buck. But that's kind of almost automatic when you begin to start when you start paying for Facebook ads. I hope I have not confused the heck out of people, but it's unfortunate, and I should have listened to you, Arthur. That there is no simple Facebook page. Any questions? Anything I can answer at this point? Pushpa.
One question. I have seen in my personal Facebook account, people talking about Toastmasters. Is that quite okay, or it shouldn't be, or what should we do?
No, that's fine.
That's fine. There's no problem there, right?
No, there's no problem.
Okay.
There's no problem.
Okay. Great session, Elton. I enjoyed it and I learned something.
No, I would hope so. Or I would be deflated. Oh, I see. I got a thumbs up from M. Watson.
All right.
Okay, so it is 7 minutes after 8, at least from my analog clock that I'm looking at. And Putzbach, I can't even do it now. Call me.
I will. And Dawn, I look forward. Dawn, I look forward to your workshop.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
You'll be in good hands, Pushpa.
I'm sure I am right now too.
Okay, so I'm going to if there aren't any other questions, then I'm going to say good night and happy Facebooking.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Okay, thanks, Elton. Night to night, everyone. See you next week.
All
Yes.
right.
Same time, same place.
Same place.
All right.